Assalamualaikum. Today I will present about end of chapter of law. Okay, my name is Nur Balqis binti Abdullah. My matrix number is 20 DPM 19F2026. First, I will discuss about section A, part 1, number 1. Okay, I will read the question first. Namjoon was instructed by his principal, Mr. Jin, to find a buyer for a bungalow that the principal intended to sell with the commission 5% of the price of the house. The principal clearly stated that the selling price must not be less than 500,000. Jimin offered to buy the house at the price of 501,000, while Jungkook offered to buy it at 510,000. In ensuring that the house will be his, Jimin offered Namjoon an additional commission of 10,000. Namjoon accepted Jimin's offer without informing his principal about Jungkook's offer. Okay, next. The answer of state an issue is whether Tuanjin principal can take the secret commission that have been given to Namjoon. Next, the answer of explain the relevant provision of the contract at 1950 is if the principal knows about the secret profit and consent to it, the agent is entitled to keep the profit. He makes since the profit is no longer secret. Refer section 168 of the Contract Act 1950. Section 168 Contracts Act 1950. If an agent deals on his own account in the business of the agency without first obtaining the consent of his principal and acquainting him with all material circumstances which have come to his own knowledge on the subject, the principal may repudiate the transaction if the case shows either that any material fact has been dishonestly concealed from him by the agent, or that the dealings of the agent have been disadvantageous to him. The remedies for this question is the principal may repudiate the contract, particularly if he feels that it is disadvantageous to him. Second, the principal may recover the amount of the bribe from the agent. Third, the principal may dismiss the agent for breach of the treaty. And fourth, the principal may refuse to pay the agent his commission or other remuneration. And last, the principal may sue the agent and the third party, giving the bribe for damages, and for loss he may sustain it through entering into the contract. Okay, next question. Explain a relevant case to support your answer. And my answer is my case answer is Tan Kyung Hwa vs Andrew H. Chong in 1974. Okay. In Tan Kyong Hwa vs. Andrew S. H. Chong, 1974, the plaintiff bought a flat from a company of which the defendant was managing director. The plaintiff later authorized the defendant as his agent to sell that flat for $50,000, and the difference of $9,000 was credited to the company. The company went into liquidation. The court held that the plaintiff was entitled to recover $9,000 from the defendants, as the defendants had breached his duty as an agent. Okay. Last is principal can take the secret commission from agent as provided under section 169 of Contract Act in 1950. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Miss Azlinda. My name is Dayang Nur Syuhada binti Awang Azami with my number matric 20 DPM 19 F2020. I am from class DPM 3B. Today, I would like to share my answer at section B number 3. And first of all, I will read the case first. Okay, I will read the case first. Shafiq, the owner of a Proton X70, delivered the car to Ayub, a mercantile agent, for sale for a price not be less than 80,000. Ayub intended from the very beginning to sell the car immediately for the best price he could get to use the proceeds for his own purpose. On the same day, Ayub received the car. He sold the car for 75,000 to Daniel, who bought it in good faith and without notice of the agent's fraud. Shafiq therefore sued Daniel in order to recover his car. The issues in this case is the whether Ayub sold the car less than 80,000 without Shafiq's permission. The next is what are the principles and provisions in SOGA 1957 that are related to this matter? The principles and provisions in SOGA 1957 that are related to this matter is at section 27 Sales of Goods Act 1957. Section 27(1) subject to this act and of any other law for the time being in force, where goods are sold by a person who is not the owner thereof and who does not sell them under the authority or with the consent of the owner. The buyer acquires no better title to the goods and the seller had, unless the owner of the goods is by his conduct precluded from denying the seller's authority to sell. The operative section is the proviso to section 27, which states that where a mercantile agent is with the consent of the owner in possession of the goods or of a document of title to the goods, any sale made by him when acting in the ordinary course of business of a mercantile agent should be as valid as if he were expressly authorized by the owner of the good to make the same, provided that the buyer acts in good faith and has not at the same time of the contract of sale notice that the seller has no authority to sell. Next is discuss relevant case regarding the issue mentioned below. The relevant case for these issues is the case of Fox versus King 1923. The facts in this case is Fox owned a car and handed it to an agent for sale. Fox told the agent a special instruction not to sell the car below a certain price. Later, the agent sold the car to King. He sold the car at a much lower price, which in good faith and for valuable consideration, without any notice of any fraud. Next, the agent disappeared with the money. Then Fox met with the King. King explained everything to Fox. Then Fox sued to recover his car from King. 2 months later, the case brought to court. The King as the defendant and the Fox as the plaintiff with his lawyer. The court has decided, as the mercantile agent was in possession of the car with the consent of the owner for the purpose of sale, and as the sale had been in the ordinary course of the agent's business. And then King received the good title, and Fox could not recover the car from King. In conclusion of this case, at the time of the disposition, the mercantile agent must be in possession of the goods or documents of the title to the goods. And Daniel received the good title, and Shafiq could not recover the car from Ayub. This is because Daniel buy the car without notice the agent fraud. Whether Ayub sold the car less than 80,000 without Shafiq permission. That's all from me and Bakis for the answer of end of chapter. Thank you, Miss.